regarding the brightest and best contributing to the economy.
That is, as I understand it, government policy.
How was this toxic Tory James Daly beautifully schooled on legal migration? This happened on the 15th of May 2024 in the Home Affairs Committee meeting on legal migration, obviously, where James Daly wanted to talk about student visas with Professor Brian Bell, Chair at Migration Advisory Committee.
Professor Bell, is it the stated objective of the British government to attract the brightest and best to UK universities?
Yes.
Okay. Now, looking at your report, and you tell me if I'm wrong in respect to this, it says that certainly suggests, I'll say, that 41% of graduate route visa holders earn less than £15,000 a year. Is that correct?
At certain points in their graduate visa, I think it's a difficult one to answer because I think the most useful way of thinking about it is to look at their earnings after a year in the labour market. Because when they first join, of course, you might get a very part-time job in a pub just as a starting job. And so I think our focus is more on after a year on the graduate route.
Let's just take year one.
Yep.
Is it correct?
For the whole year, yes.
Well, and therefore it does seem to me that those two things are completely and utterly contradictory, and that the graduate visa route is not achieving the aim to which the government has a very clear and stated objective. Would you agree?
I would say that it was one of the objectives of the government, and I think it's dangerous to pick and choose which objective you want to focus on. The government also has an objective of achieving 600,000 international students in the UK.
Do you think it was the aim of government policy that they would bring in the visa graduate route so that 41% of people in year one would earn £15,000 a year?
You'd have to ask the government.
Well, it's clearly not, isn't it? So
Don't know.
if the government were to reform the graduate route, because it seems to me that it needs to be reformed, could I just ask your view on the introduction of a price floor, so that if we had courses, say, that cost £15,000-20,000 a year, that is the best way to ensure that 2-year visa-free access to the UK labour market is effective in terms of the government's objective behind the policy?
You're suggesting that you should only be able to go on the graduate route if you paid higher fees.
Exactly.
So that would be an option for the government. I would say, and to caution you on this, you may be looking at one of our tables later on in the report where we show average fees per university. They were from that data is from 2020-21. There's no more recent data. Actually, all of those fees will have increased significantly since then. So I think there's an awful lot of universities that are already charging about £15,000 for postgraduate courses. So I think...
So in terms of answering the question, that I've asked you a question about a price floor. It could be 15 or 20,000, it could be 25,000, whatever it is. That is the best way for the government to achieve to obtain their objective regarding the brightest and best contributing to the economy in terms of the 2 years visa-free access to the labour market. It's a very simple and straightforward way to achieve that, isn't it?
Well, it's not. So first of all, that implies that best and brightest is also equivalent to richest. I don't think they're the same things myself. You may, I don't. And secondly, I go back to my basic point. You're picking one objective that the government has and saying that's the only one that matters. If you restrict the visa in the way you're suggesting, you will not achieve the objectives set out in the International Education Strategy. That is, as I understand it, government policy.
Okay.
That tractor porn site gets everywhere, doesn't it? James Daly, dirty boy. Also, that silence was deafening at the end, wasn't it? Well, the thing is for me with our James Daly is that he seemed to be a man on a mission for me with this brightest and best nonsense, and I get the feeling he was talking nonsense and probably not his brightest and best moment, eh? But what do you guys think? Let me know down below and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.